Okay, so let's hit go live. And now we should be live. Let's see. It's still saying upcoming. Not sure what has been going on, y'all. Oh, I don't know why it's saying upcoming, but I am live. Okay. That's kind of crazy. Let me know if you are out there in the YouTube streets, if you can hear me, because we getting ready to do a little quick boss up today, y'all. And I don't know if I was on when I did my intro, so I'm just gonna do it again. I know y'all probably hear my dogs in the background barking, and I am so sorry. And I've been trying to figure out what I have done to my settings for those dogs to be where you can hear those dogs barking, but I don't know what's going on with it. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and go with the video. Hey Connie, how are you today? Okay, y'all, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this because I know it's Saturday and I know a lot of people are busy today. I was actually headed out to Women's Expo and kind of got sidetracked, and your girl, let me show y'all real quick. So I tell y'all, answer that phone in those wee hours. So I snagged the contract for the Women's Expo shirts. Yay! More money in my pocket for the grandbabies. So this is the shirt that I'm actually gonna wear the shirt today, and I'm kind of just trying to decide whether I should like go in the shirt because they're gonna be giving the shirts out at the event. And then it'll look kind of weird that I already have the shirt, right? So I'm trying to figure that out. But in case you're new to the channel, I'm LaTonna Robertson, the Lady Print Boss, and I have printed over 1 million t-shirts in my career, right? And I teach people how to boss up in their t-shirt businesses. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. Now what we're gonna try to do, that's what we're gonna do. I have had a couple of people inbox me on this topic, and so I thought, you know, hey, do a video for it. And so that's what we're gonna do. And today's topic is printing in-house versus outsourcing, transfers. What's the best method for you for your t-shirt business? What's the best way for you to print? Hey, Elegant Edits, no problem, no problem. I'm glad that you were able to get them. Let me know if you want me to send you customers, because there are a lot of things, you know, I do believe in, you know, sharing. It's enough money out here for everybody. So when there's definitely some things that I can't do, I don't mind sending that money over to you. So let's talk about it, y'all, because people, the word on these streets is that screen printing is dead. And baby, I ain't dead. So screen printing ain't dead. So want to talk about it. A lot of people, when they get started now, you know, since COVID, this transfer world has kind of blown up, and a lot of people decide, hey, they want to start a t-shirt business, and the first thing they do, they start looking into different ways to get started, right? So they look at different options. So there are a couple of different options. You can either outsource, and by outsourcing, I mean you can outsource by buying transfers from companies that sell transfers, and then only thing you have to do is have a heat press and then press that design onto your garment when you're ready to print it. There's also something called contract printing, where you could hook up with someone like myself, a screen printer that does contract printing for brands and businesses. And what happens is with that, we will give you a contract price for you printing so many items, and we will screen print your job directly onto your merchandise, and then all you have to do is to your pass that along to your customers. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're also going to talk about in-house printing. Y'all, sorry, my throat gets so dry. We're also going to talk about in-house printing, which is what I am a fan of. Okay, so with in-house printing, that is a method where you're going to be actually the one that's printing all of your stuff, or at least the majority of your stuff. And there are different, reasons why you would want to in-house print versus outsourcing or sending it over to a contract printer. So we're going to talk about all of that. Oh, y'all, give me 1 second, because I've got the light right here shining bright in my eyes, and I'm looking for my glasses, honey. So let's talk about transfer printing, because right now there's a lot of transfer companies that are out there that are offering transfer printing. It used to be either if you went in and you got transfers, you would just go straight into screen printed transfers, right? But now with things like, sublimation, DTF, there are, those other methods for you to screen print. I don't know what's going on with those dogs out there, y'all. So there are other methods out there for you to get a print on a shirt, not to screen print, but to get a print on a shirt. So we're going to talk about them, because DTF is really big right now. Sublimation is really big. I don't think there are a lot of people who are outsourcing sublimation transfers, but that's still an option. Even eco solvent printing has been around forever, so that has always been an option for people. But when you're talking about outsourcing transfers, let's talk about the pros and the cons of transfer printing, right? If you want to start a t-shirt business and you don't have a lot of time, or you don't have a lot of space to do your setup, you may want to just opt for the cheaper method of buying a heat press and then outsourcing that to, let's say, a screen printing company or to someone that does DTF. So the pros of that is that it saves you time. You have less equipment to buy, right? And you have the ability to provide your customers with a lot of options. For example, if I was to purchase, let's say, some screen printed transfers with my logo on it, and I had a customer who wanted it on a blue shirt, I could accommodate. I can also accommodate them if they wanted black shirt, white shirt, whatever, because those transfers, most screen printed transfers or DTF transfers, all DTF transfers, you can put on any color shirt with all of the DTF transfers, as long as it has white on it. Not all of them, because I have seen some people do it without a white backing, but most of the time you're going to be able to put it on any color shirt. Same thing for screen printed transfers. You do have some companies that sell transfers that are for light garments or for dark garments, but the majority of people now out here are doing like just a one and done thing. So that's one good thing about transfers. Now, some of the cons of working with transfers, and this is where outsourcing gets kind of tricky, right? When you outsource, there's a time frame, right, that you're waiting to get that product in. So let's say if I have a customer who needs transfers like in 3 days, and I need to outsource that transfer, well, it takes me time to jump onto a website and figure out, hey, how I'm going to upload the design, how much the transfer is going to cost. There's pricing issues sometimes, because you have to try to figure out, okay, how much it's going to cost you for this transfer unless you're dealing with a company that has like set pricing. But most of these companies now, they have this gang pricing, so you really kind of don't know what you're going to pay for it until you get on there and start putting everything in, which can cause some problems with your profits when you're dealing with your customers, right? So when you're outsourcing your transfers, I can tell you this as a screen printer: anytime that you outsource transfers, I can screen print anything in-house much cheaper than I could if I outsourced it. But we're going to talk about that in a minute, because there are costs that are associated with that, with in-house screen printings, and so, or in-house DTF printing, or in-house heat transfer printing. Any type of printing that you do in-house, there's that upfront cost, right? For me, transfers, and I've been dealing with transfers for 20 some years, right? So you got all kinds of transfers, and there are so many different types of transfers that are coming out now, and there are so many people who are jumping into selling transfers and doing, like these DIY methods and things like that, that it really gets tricky, and sometimes you can get bad quality, right? Not sometimes, a lot of times you'll get bad quality. So you have to make sure that if you decide to go the transfer route, that you deal with a reputable company. And I'm not going to call any names, but even the top transfer company out here that sells more transfers than anyone has had a problem with a bad batch of transfers, right? So if you order transfers, you have to keep that in mind. Also, screen printed transfers, y'all, and I tell people this all the time, because it has that adhesive added to it, it's not going to outlast a direct a screen print that I have printed directly onto the garment, right? So that's not going to outlast that. So you have to think about that. I know there are a lot of, these 15-cent transfer companies. And then you look at, you may look at a transfer company that says, hey, we do 15-cent one color transfers, right? You need to think about the longevity of that 15-cent transfer, because those same companies that offer you the 15-cent transfer, they may offer you a transfer that's $1. And so you need to look at it and see, okay, all screen printing is not the same. Even in my shop, when we screen print t-shirts, we have there are different types of inks. There's it's just like a Pinto and a Cadillac, or do they even make Pintos anymore? I gotta find me a new saying, y'all, because it gives up my age. So there's different qualities of ink out there, right? Same thing with DTF printing. There's different qualities of DTF inks. There are, and that's just the way it is, so you really have to be careful when you're outsourcing, and even when you're buying, from a direct screen printer like me. So those are some of the things with transfers. The main reason that I don't outsource a lot of transfers is, one, I have a hard time finding reputable companies that will outsource the transfers, and then the companies that I do have, it takes so long for me to get the transfers to me that it causes, it'll cause a hiccup in my business. And so I like for things to run real smoothly. So that's why I opted to become an in-house printer, and why I have always stayed an in-house printer for the most part. Doesn't mean that because you print in-house the majority of things, that there are not some things that you cannot outsource. I like a good balance, right? Okay, so let's talk about in-house printing, right? So in-house printing would be what I do. Whether you print in-house for your, and let me back up. One thing that I just thought about. So if you are, one of the reasons you want a big pro for outsourcing transfers, right, is if you are your own brand. If you're selling your own product and you're not dealing with the end customer, right? If you are the end customer, as far as the person, not the end customer, but the person who's getting that. Let me give 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Let me cut this off. If you are a brand and you have your own logos and you're printing for yourself, right? You can easily buy transfers, because then you have the ability to say, okay, I can buy a bunch of transfers. I know that I'm doing the same designs all the time, right? Versus a person like me, where I sell to different customers and they have different designs that they want, right? So it's kind of it kind of causes chaos for me when a customer calls me and says, hey, I want to order 100 shirts, if I had to turn around then and order those as transfers, right? Because I still have to, for me, my thoughts is I still have to, once it comes in, I still have to press it, right? So it can be, if you are a brand and you have that time, you know, you're not on that time crunch, then, you know, ordering transfers may be the best way to order, you know, to outsource transfers. And I've got a video on different transfer companies that are out there. Ones that I've actually used Howard's transfers. Howard's has some really good screen printed transfers. Stalls has really good screen printed transfers. I've even done the F&M 15-cent transfers, and for events, you know, depending on what it is that you're using it for, those transfers are pretty good. Now, what I am going to say, and, you know, this might ruffle some feathers out in the industry, but I'm just a keep it real type of girl. Y'all already know who you're dealing with. So for me, the digital transfers that are out there, a lot of those transfers are just not it. From the top companies to, you know, the smallest ones, they're just not it. They don't have that longevity. So you have to be careful when you do. And what I mean is, like, when you get into doing like full color graphics, I'm not sure that I would order a transfer that has full color graphics, and I don't mean like vector work. I mean, like, let's say like a photo, things like that. Those digital prints, they just don't work for me. They just don't work for me. So for me, in that case, I would just, you know, screen print in-house. So let's talk about in-house screen printing. So some of the pros of in-house screen printing, which is what I do, is that I'm able to deal with multiple customers. I pretty much deal with, majority of the time, I'm dealing with the end customer. Sometimes I am, thank you, CTR. I just got through washing it and blow drying it out, honey. And I need to go and get these ends clipped again and go from there. But yeah, so I print in-house, even though I am technically a home business slash, I don't know, e-commerce shop, online store, mobile print shop. Now, I still consider myself a home business because I do mainly everything at home, right? And so a lot of times when people say, okay, well, they do things at home, they think that's a limitation on your income. It ain't. That's why I'm still here today, right now, because I'm closing a $16,000 sale, right? So it's not, it does not put a cap on your income because you're working at home. The key is to work smarter, not harder, right? So if you don't have that overhead, you can work when you want to work. You can jump in. You can really boss up in your business because now you have control. Like, I have the control to say no, because I ain't got to worry about paying that $6,000 a month anymore, right? So I can tell you no, and I can sit down and I can wait on that one particular order that's going to come in. So never think that because you are a home business that you can't do in-house printing. So you're in control of your process. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. with in-house printing is that you control the process, which that is really big, and I'm going to tell y'all why. When you control the process, that means that you control the quality. You know how much time it takes you to get something done, right? So a lot of times I can beat out other printers because I control the process and I'm printing in-house. Not only can I beat them out because I print in-house, but when you print at home, honey, that means you can really work 24 hours. You can work anytime that you want to. Like a lot of times in-house printers, they like for me, printing at home, I seem to get a lot done because I can get up in the middle of the night, get things prepped, get things done, right? Even though I'm not screen printing at home, I've got all of my computers set up, so I'm doing artwork, I'm placing orders for products, getting screens ready to be burnt sometimes, and I even have a little home light that y'all have seen from time to time where I burnt screens. This shirt right here for the Women's Expo, we burnt that screen on. And let me tell y'all something, honey. Jump back on this Women's Expo shirt. Look at that little beautiful 2-inch design, right? I wanted to print for Women's Expo for a long time, y'all. They don't know it. But I've been wanting to print for Women's Expo for a long time. So when I got the phone call and they said, I got an email about 7 p.m. the other night. And they were like, our printer bailed on us. And I was like, okay. So I sent a text message to the guy. I told him, hey, I emailed and said, hey, if you really want to get the shirts, then go ahead, text me because I can make anything happen. That's the key about working from home is you can make anything happen, right? When you're self-employed and you have in your in-house printer, you have everything that you need, especially if you have inventory, you can knock off jobs, right? So he called me. And I originally said no because it was a conflict with the price, with the money, right? Y'all know I'm on that list. So if you hit me and I'm on the list, then you already know, that, hey, Lady PB, she gonna print anything. She'll get the job done. But if she on that list, and that elite list means that I need that elite money. So I originally said no. It was 100 shirts, and then it went up. After I said no, I said, dang, what am I doing? I've been wanting to print these shirts forever, but I can't do it because I have that point that I don't drop under, right? So now it's hard for people to, I quoted $7 a shirt, right, for white shirts. Big companies and events, they're still used to paying that $3-4 shirt price range for screen printing. Yesterday's price ain't today's price, honey, because shirts have gone up. I can't charge you that now because shirts are like $2.70. I believe those shirts I print on. This is on. So my shirt, y'all, my shirt happens to be printed on the Hanes t-shirt, and that's why I can't wear my shirt to the event too, because I printed my shirt on the Comforts Wash tee because y'all know I like my stuff to be soft. But I ordered the Gildan 500 shirts. First time I printed on them in a while. Whew. Well, once you have started printing on premium shirts and then you go back to printing on something else, you can really tell the difference. The only problem that we had with printing on them is that the Gildan shirts had a lot of lint. So when you're printing white shirts, if you have lint on white shirts with black print, you'll get like little specks in your print. So that was crazy. Ken kept saying, dust the shirts off, dust the shirts off. So I had to actually go in and be the loader for this job because the job came through that night. Benjamin, who I was expecting to print the job, could not do the job to Monday. And I said, this job can't wait till Monday. These have to be at because the event's going on like right now. They out there gearing up, right? I'm trying to go see Rashida, the boss chick, right? But so I had to step in and help Ken do it, and he knocked them off so fast, y'all. It took him about an hour to knock off 200 shirts, right? But anyway, so y'all know that they did end up calling me back that night. He ended up texting me, and we worked everything out. I got my price, and I was like, hey, we'll hit that with the rush fee, and because I'm gonna do this thing for you literally in like 2 days. And so it turned out pretty good for me, right? And so then I'm gonna put them into my email marketing and try to see if I can get them in that funnel. And next time it'll probably be cheaper because they won't have the rush. But right now we're on about that $6-7 price range, but they would still save the rush from paying almost $10 a shirt. So that was, something that I could not have done had I not been an in-house printer. That's something that you can't do. You can't take those last minute orders and get those premium prices for it last minute, right? So let's say, for example, for this, we made about $2,000, right? Those shirts, I had to actually purchase the shirts because I have like white shirts left in stock, but they're all Hanes and they're all larges and smalls. I don't have any like extra large, and this whole entire order was extra large, y'all. So I had to actually buy the shirts. So, honey, I haven't bought a Gildan shirt in a long time. Gildan shirts used to be, I remember when they was 80 cents, and then it went up to about 105. It was like 130 the last time I bought something. And it was $2.70 for a white t-shirt. Wholesale. What the work? What? It's crazy. So that was like, I was like, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a basic tee. But it just shows you where the economy is. And so Ken told me, okay, so you got to go out there today and do some video, because I want the Black Expo. I want the Black Expo. I've turned down the Black Expo 2 times, but I want the Expo. I didn't understand that. And so I want the Black Expo, and I want the Gay Pride. I want Black Expo and I want Gay Pride. And I'm gonna go for them. I know I'm gonna get Gay Pride because I got a plug. So I know I'm gonna get Gay Pride next year. I could have got Gay Pride this year, but it was last minute. So I'm gonna go for those two. I'm going for more events, adding in more events, right? Yes, ma'am, CTR, they didn't have a choice but to pay that fee because, and this is the thing, I put up a post a few days ago, and I said, in my post, I said on Facebook something about answer those phone here. I said it was my daily tip. Answer those early morning calls and those late night calls, those late night emails, because I guarantee you, if you answer them, especially the late night ones, especially if you can catch it towards the weekend. If you answer that phone, let's say on Thursdays, because most, it takes takes printers time to get stuff in. But if you hit that weekend, baby, right, going into that weekend, you in the dough. I made a lot of money like that. So I've learned a lot from that. So that's the main thing. You are in control of your process. Number 2, when you're hands-on printing and in-house printing is going to be more profitable in the long run. And what I mean is in the beginning of your business journey, right? You're going to spend money on equipment. You're going to spend money learning how to use that equipment. But if you stay the course, in the long run, you are going to make more money. And you're going to actually make more money. Like once you've paid off that equipment, then you're going to really see the difference, right? And what I mean is, let's say if it cost me 10 cents to print a shirt, right? I've never really just broken down, like a took a maybe I'll take a gallon of ink and just kind of start from the beginning of a gallon. We got a gallon of black ink that we just got in. Maybe I'll take that gallon of black ink and just start to see, okay, how many shirts that we can print from it. I mean, because you're printing thousands. You may do 10,000 shirts or more off of 1 gallon of ink, okay? So it just, and honey, and if I'm printing something like this, I mean, something small like this, you know, you can print, it's no telling how many shirts that you're going to be able to print off of that gallon. So it's going to be more profitable for you in the long run. I'm still going to say that screen printing is the best method of printing, the best process of printing a t-shirt overall. We're getting ready to go into 2023. I know there are some different processes that are coming out and people are saying, oh, DTF is better than screen printing. But we're talking, when I look at it, I like the DTF process. I like where it's going. But when I say the best printing method overall, I'm going to say this in terms of profitability, in terms of longevity, in terms of speed. I think if DTF ever got to the point of where you could screen print, where you could do DTF shirts as fast as you could screen print, then I would see that profit level for a person like me that's printing for the public, right? You would see more, more profits. And so, the more shirts that you can get out, the more money that you're going to make. Now, on the flip side, DTF, put that on silent. DTF is more expensive, right? As far as the inks, because the inks are more expensive. So the print process, because it's slower, the customer is paying more per piece, right? So when you break that down into profitability, I can't tell you 100% because I haven't been DTF printing long enough to say, okay, well, this is what this is, right? But I can tell you as far as when it comes to screen printing, what the profitability is in screen printing, right? That you can easily do 60% profit, 40% putting it into what you're putting into it, 60% profit, real easy. So I can't say that much. So you're getting a faster process. You're also able to control the quality of your prints when you print in house, whether you're sublimating it, whether you're doing it in DTF prints, whether you're screen printing. When you are in-house printer, you're able to control the quality, which says a lot. That says a whole lot, right? Now you are some of the cons of in-house printing. And the con of in-house printing is that you are going to need space to do, the work, whether it's, your heat pressing, whether you are, if you have a DTF machine, you need space for that. If you have a whole screen printing setup, you need space for that. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Don't let the industry trick you guys, or all of the hype trick you guys into thinking that screen printing is too difficult. And I'm going to say this because screen printing is not too difficult. And I tell people all the time that it's you. It's you. It's you have to take the time to learn the craft to perfect the skill. Screen printing is not like, hey, you can jump on YouTube and somebody's got a heat press and they're just gonna show you how to heat press some vinyl. You can jump on YouTube, somebody can show you how to screen print, right? But you're still, I don't care. You can watch a million screen printing videos, right? There's nothing like doing it hands on and really learning the process from someone who knows the process. So what I'm telling y'all is, if you're going to jump into screen printing, take a class. If you don't take my class, take somebody's class. Get a consultant, hire a coach. But when people look at the $500, so my classes are like $500 when people come to me and learn how to print in person, and then it goes up depending on, like, if I go and I train a shop, it may be $1,500, right? But the $1,500 that I come in and train that shop with, that money, they normally make it that day that I'm there. They normally make it that day I'm there, because I always tell people, hey, make sure you got some jobs, honey, so we come in and do the jobs and get you. We learning while we going, right? Because I'm there and you're not gonna mess it up. So it's screen printing is what you put into it, and it's not a long drawn out process. A lot of times people are overthinking it, right? So the thing with screen printing is that the thing with screen printing, I'm sorry, I looked at a comment and lost my thought. The thing with screen printing is getting your process down, right? I can go from a person calling me with an order to press in 30 minutes if I need to. If that artwork is right, I can go boom, 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 right, to press. And it's, you don't need, the, what people are saying, you don't really have to have, the top of the line equipment to get started out. Now I'm going to tell you, you don't need the cheapest thing either, because I just saw a man this morning that was screen printing with a clamp, and he said this is the best way to screen print, and I said, I be damn, that's a lie. So you have to really just be willing to kind of invest in it. I see that Keisha says that she's learned that if you wear all the hats in your business, you have no choice but to outsource printing, and that's her opinion. For me, I think that for a person like you, Keisha, that is just getting started, I think that outsourcing printing is good. But I also think that in the long run, if you were to take the time, it's a sacrifice. It's not something that you're going to learn today. You need to go take a class. You need to really want to stress that education, y'all, that education. And hey, for years, even now to this very day, I'm still up studying and perfecting my craft. I'm not perfecting my screen printing craft anymore, because honey, I'm bossed up. But I am always studying now, perfecting my email marketing, figuring out new techniques, trying new things, finding new niches, things like that. So whenever you start a business, you never stop, right? You never stop. And this is the thing. If, let's say that I'm running my shop, right, and I hire a printer, and I paid that printer $20 an hour to come in and print shirts, right? Off of that press, I can make my press a manual press, let's say a 6-color 4-station press, right? I'm on average on that press $300 an hour or more. Profit from them printing. My average $300 an hour profit. I don't take a job that I can't make $300 an hour off of. And if you turn around and you pay a worker, a person to screen print that job $20, you still made $280 profit an hour. That's why I tell y'all that, and you know, so it's just what it is. I mean, it's you know, if you do the math and you sit down, and if anybody out there, if you have a problem with the math, reach out, hit me to my email, call me, jump on the phone, and I'll sit down and I'll break the math down to you and show you the numbers, because the numbers don't lie, right? The numbers don't lie. So, you know, I think that it like I said, if it's, you know, it transfers is for you. If you need to save time, transfers is for you. If you don't have the time to invest in your business, transfers is for you. And I'm gonna also say this other thing, y'all, is that transfers may be for your business, but you have to find the time for your business. You have to find the time. Running a business is about sacrificing, right? It's all about sacrificing for you to get it to that next level, for you to get your business to that next level. Even running a business at home, I'm still sacrificing. So you have to find the time. If you cannot find, you know, hey, 2 hours a week, 2-3 hours a week to invest time into your business, not time that you're normally doing your day-to-day activities, but time to study into your business, you don't even need to be in business. And that's just the truth of the matter. That's just, you know, you may not need to be in business because it's a sacrifice. So y'all make sure, you know, that's one thing that I tell people all the time. You have to sacrifice for anything that you want. You have to sacrifice. We live in a day and age to where everybody wants now, right? And so, you know, in-house printing, that's the thing. You're going to put up more money up front, right? You're going to put up more money up front. But I'm going to tell y'all something. If you can save, and this goes for whether you're doing vinyl, whether you're doing DTF shirts, whether you're doing screen printing, any process that you are doing out there, right? Any process that you are doing, you can save yourself a lot of money at the very beginning by reaching out to the right consultant or following the right person, right? Finding the right information the first time, not the second time. Like I have people who reach out to me, and they've reached out to me. I had one lady I trained down in San Marcos. She had started her business, and she had spent over 10 grand spinning her wheels until she came to me to get the right equipment, to do the right job the first time, right? To figure it out. What's the best printing method for you? What equipment do you need? Learn the skill that you need to get it done, right? Boom, boom, boom. And you're done. And that I see, like, it really pisses me off because this industry is turning business entrepreneurs into consumers. A lot of y'all are turning into consumers. And what I mean by that is you buy one heat press, they'll sell you one heat press, and then you say, oh, this heat press, it's not working for me, right? And they sell you another heat press. And then they say, okay, well, buy the pull-out drawer heat press, buy this, buy that. You jump from printing, you jump from sublimation printing to, okay, you jumped into sublimation because you thought, oh, I can start a t-shirt business. I want to start my t-shirt business. I'm gonna do t-shirts. You seen somebody tell you to do sublimation, so you jumped into sublimation, not knowing that now you're limited to these polyester t-shirts, or that I can't do. And we're talking about direct sublimation. I can't print on a black t-shirt. Now I gotta buy something else to be able to print on that black t-shirt. Now I had to go buy that Caesar print, whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about, and you don't like that, or you went and you bought the stalls this or that and you didn't like that, and so now you're looking for a better quality, or you whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? Not saying that either something's wrong with either one of those products, right? Just using it as an example. So, you know, and then you're like, okay, well, I need to figure out a way to print on black t-shirts, because any t-shirt business can, it's a fight going on or something. Let me look at my camera. It's my dog, man. He comes at the worst times. So, you know, think about that type of stuff and try not to become a consumer. And I'm going to leave y'all with this, to give y'all a few more points with printing transfers. And this is what happened to me with me printing the DTF transfers, right? So I am still going to, that's my sounds like the dog man out there. My dogs really don't like him, so we have a guy that comes every day and he has to clean the dogs. The dogs really don't like it. They be trying to eat him up, so that's probably what y'all are hearing. With DTF and with outsourcing transfers, right? If for me and my business, like I said, if I was a brand and I was gonna put that same logo on stuff, because I think about doing it for my ABBA organization, if I put that same logo on stuff, then that's fine for me to go in and heat press it, right? But for me, if I'm good, I can screen print faster, and any printer can screen print faster than you can heat press a shirt. Did y'all just hear what I said? Any screen printer out there can screen print faster than you can heat press a shirt, even with the automatic press. Because, and the reason I say that is because, let me break it down. Your screen print, it takes you a few seconds to turn that press and to screen print that shirt, right? When you're heat transferring something, you have to press it and you have to wait a certain amount of time. So in that downtime that you're waiting, right, we're still printing, and you're running that through a conveyor dryer, and so it's like moving. Things are it's the whole process, the way the wheels spin, it just moves a lot faster. Okay, so for me with the DTF, which we have the DTF machine back in the other room, and we're gonna, you know, get that up probably this weekend. Here's the thing for me with the DTF machine. I love the DTF for full color. I love the quality, right, that I was getting. It had a learning curve, right? It did have a learning curve. However, I love the process, and so DTF, when it works, it works. But the process was too freaking slow. I would much rather take and this is the thing, if you have, let's say if you have a 6-color job, right? And this is where people get confused at. If you, hey Carmen girl, I got your shirt. I got your shirt. I got yours too. I printed yours on a comfort wash too. So if we didn't make it out there, we got our shirts. So we still got our shirts. I'm gonna try to get out there. So if you're doing a full color design, this is what I tell people with screen printing. If you're doing a manual on a manual press, yeah, you're printing one color at a time, right? However, if you're doing simulated process printing and you got a job and that job has 10 colors in it, right? And you are good with screen separations, you can I've easily broken down 10 color jobs to 5 color designs. right? To a 5-color job, to where you have 5 screens. You can break down, so a lot of times you can break that stuff down. And if you're the type of printer and you have the right software, and you can print the business down the street, it takes that screen printer 10 screens, and he has to do it on a 10-color press, and you have a 6-color press, and you're able to print it in 4 or 5 screens, you're going to make more money than that person, right? If you have an automatic press, all colors are printing at the same time. So not actually printing at the same time, like on top of each other, but printing at the same time, meaning that if you have a square, let me try to show y'all, because people get confused when I say this. So I tell people, when people say, oh, well, DTF, you can screen. Yeah, honey, let me tell you something. Y'all going out and people buying, they spending 10, 20 grand on DTF to jump into DTF, when, hey, you can put that on an automatic press and get in. So if I'm here and I've got head 1 right here, and head 1 has white ink, the press, I push the button, it starts with white ink, and then it goes in and it starts printing this color, this color, this color, this color. But all these heads, after that first spin, all these heads are moving and printing at the same time. So while this is printing the white, this is printing the red, but everything is moving at the same time. So that's printing white, that's printing red, that's printing blue, that's printing green. So it's all printing at the same time, and the speed is like zoom, zoom, zooming. So you can do a full color print in, let's say in 1 hour, on my press, on our automatic, we could probably do maybe 300-400 shirts working leisurely. And I have an older automatic, so, and that's working leisurely. But on these big companies, they zoom, zoom, zoom. And if you got $100,000 to spend on a press, you can always get, you can get into the hybrid printing. So hybrid printing, they're just printing the white on one head, and then it's kind of like a DTG printer that's printing the colors, all of the colors on top of the white. So it's a lot of different processes out there. If you are, and so, for me, if I'm doing transfers for customers, that's it. And I was telling my customers, like, if I'm trying to get into the t-shirt business, and if I'm trying to get into the t-shirt business, I'm not doing my own brand, but I'm catering to other customers, I'm going to outsource to a screen printer. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because if you outsource transfers, you still are doing the work, right? You still have to do the work. You still have to get the transfers. I got some news for y'all. There's time. It takes time for you to cut the transfers. You know how they get those gang sheets? Go look those videos and see them sitting there, and it takes time. If you didn't cut up any vinyl or done anything like that, you know that stuff takes time. That's stuff that we don't really think about, right? About how much time it takes us to cut up stuff, right? So it takes time to cut that. It takes time for you then to prep your shirts for your customers. So you still have to go and buy the shirts. You still then, after you bought the shirts, and a lot of times people are buying shirts retail, or they'll buy them from an online shop that says it's retail, but it's not true retail. So then you got that situation. You got a problem finding shirts. So all of that stuff plays into the time of you producing the garment, right? And then once you've got everything done, now you have to heat transfer the screen printer transfers, or the DTF transfers that you went and outsourced, right? And so that takes time, and depending on your heat press, you might have some cold spots, honey, or you may not have the right pressure. You may end up having some quality control issues. So that's why I say, if I was starting a brand, not a brand, but even a brand, if I'm doing either one, But mainly if I am catering to customers, in-source customers, I'm going to outsource that job to a screen printer. Reason being is the screen printer is going to, if you get a good contract printer, that printer is going to supply the shirts. Y'all stop calling screen printers asking them can they print on your shirts that you brought because you went and you found shirts at the Family Dollar store. Because this is what happens is some shirts, like I tell people all the time, you want to bring in all these different types of shirts, and then what happens is they either have stickers on them, so you gotta remove that. That's going to be a cost that's going to be charged to you, because I ain't going to sit there and take them off for free, right? Sometimes people go and they get different merchandise, and so then you want the screen printer to print these different things, right? There are different inks for different types of shirts. So a quality screen printer like myself is going to be straight up front with you and tell you, hey, this is why we like to provide the shirts for you. And most screen printers have access to more shirts than you would ever have access to. And if you, depending on what tier you're on in pricing and what company you're buying from, then you may end up getting a better deal on the price, wholesale pricing of the shirt with the screen printer, right? The other thing is that with a screen printer, you're not paying for, like if you were to come to me and get shirts done, you're not going to be paying for your misprints because that's included in my cost. So any misprints that we have on shirts that we provide, we eat that cost and replace that, right? You're going to get a better quality because it's printed directly. And lastly, once you get that finished product, you're ready to ship that finished product to your customer. You don't have to take it home. You don't have to press. You don't have to have a heat press, so you don't have to have any equipment to be able to do it. So that's why I'm telling y'all, screen print ain't dead, right? I know that all of these companies are now outsourcing transfers, and transfers is good for some things, but hook up with you. There are plenty of local screen printers, and help these screen printers out here, because some of them struggling, honey. Okay. But find a good screen printer that has knowledge, right? And what I mean is that they have printed on different types of garments. They are proven. They are a screen printer that knows what they're talking about, right? And don't always go for the cheapest printer, because I'm here to tell y'all I'm not the cheapest printer out there, right? But I'm one of the best, and you're gonna get good quality work from me when you get it done. So that's one thing that a lot of people, you can start a t-shirt business without investing in transfers, without sourcing your own garments, without having a heat press, by just reaching out to a contract printer. At T-Shirt Shop Dallas, we do contract printing, right? So if you need contract printing, y'all reach out to me. T-shirtshopdallas.com, Latana Robertson at DallasT-shirts.com, or sales at T-shirtshopdallas.com. CTR. So CTR was saying you don't need to buy software other than Photoshop. So for screen printing, most screen printers, you can use Photoshop to do your screen printing, but you really want a vector program, because Photoshop is a raster program, which so Photoshop is for bitmap images, more for like photo editing than it is for screen printing. Because with screen printing, you want, let me back up. If you're doing full color photos and you're doing what's called either CMYK process, simulated process print, or simulated process printing, which is going on dark shirts, right? Or index printing, Photoshop will work fine, right, for photos, because you're dealing with the half tones. But when you're dealing with, if you're dealing with what's called spot color printing, you want to use something like Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw for a vector program. You can even You can even use Silhouette Studio to do like simple stuff, simple vectors. What is it? Inkscape. Will do Inkscape is another free program. So there are a bunch of different ones that are out there that you can use. And don't ever let artwork, deter you, because there are so many different ways to do artwork now. But uh, for me, no, I'm not I'm Dallas T-shirts.com, not Dallas T-shirt Company. So there are a lot of ways that you can get the job done. Now, if you are getting into full color, or if you want a fast way to color separate your jobs, there are kits out there. Like me, I'm a color separator, right? I do color separations. I used to do it for other companies, but I don't do that anymore. So I just do it for myself. But there are things like Separation Studio, which I would highly recommend if you're doing a lot of color separations, to get a program like that so that you can pop it in there and you're done, and you don't have to do manual separations. Although there are times when I still do manual separations. I'm a control. I'm just, I like to micromanage everything and have control over everything. So the majority of the time when I do separations, I do it myself. But I can honestly tell y'all that probably in the last 5 years, if you go back through the channel, you'll notice that you don't see me do very many Corel Draw videos, because I started having problems with my eyes from being on a computer so long, and I decided to stop doing artwork for people and get better customers. And so when you get better customers or better clients like Larry, right, then you're not going to have to deal with a lot of artwork, right? You'll do very simple things, or you will have companies that have graphic designers on staff, and they will send you over the file. But even though there are a lot of different vector programs that are out there now, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. If you are, when you get to a professional level, where you're screen printing on a professional level, and you're working with color separations, then people are, if you don't have Illustrator, Corel Draw, I'm a Corel Draw vector artist. That's my choice of program, right? I prefer to do things in Corel than Illustrator. But Illustrator is still what is Corel and Illustrator. Those are the two top programs. And so if someone sends me over a graphic, right, I can't take that graphic and open up that graphic in Silhouette or over in Inkscape or in any of these other programs. It may not open correctly, right? So you have to, once you start to level up and boss up in your business, then you have to have, the software. So like I do have Illustrator, and I have Corel Draw. I also have Accurate, and I have Separation Studio. So as you kind of grow up, you just get more and more, you get better software. And software is something, it all starts with the artwork, right? It all starts with the artwork. So if your design can only be as good as the artwork. So once and I'm gonna tell y'all something, like I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff. Like I said, people, like the industry has gone to, some parts of the industry to me have really gone to shit. A lot of the YouTubers out here are selling out to me, in my opinion. When I see things like, some of these screen print machines and it's just not worth it. Like I saw the Me Screen, that Me Screen by what is it called, Express Screen. They came out with that stuff some years ago. Professional printers really don't use it because the thing is, if you look at the screen, the screens are really crappy and they're just really loose. And I mean, I would tell you to go and spend, you know, 5-6 thousand bucks on a machine that's going to burn a screen, knowing that you're not going to get the best quality. So a lot of times when you see people out here and people are doing stuff, it's because it's not even because they don't know. It's that, you know, hey, they might think that, hey, this is the best method, this is something new, but in actuality it's garbage, right? Learn how to code a screen. Learn how to code a screen. I see people out here, they're doing, you know, you screen print with vinyl and things like that. It's okay to screen print with vinyl when you first start, but I'm going to tell you, your print is not going to look as crisp as mine. It's not going to be as it's just not going to be right? You're not going to get the proper amount of ink laid. You're going to when you're screen printing with vinyl, eventually you'll start to get that kind of spread and those little furries at the end of your design because it's not crisp, because the stencil ain't crisp. So things will start to happen in your process and you'll start to have problems when you could have easily went the professional way, bought the emulsion, learn how to coat it. I mean, I got tons of videos out there on how to coat your screens. Learn how to do this stuff, y'all, professionally, right? So that you avoid all of those problems once you get to press. You don't want to have any problems. That's why I say, hey, the thing with screen printing is it's very, very easy to learn. You can go from design to press in 30 minutes, right? With the right software. You send me over design, boop, I'm gonna pop it off in there, push that button, it's gonna go over there to the printer, print out the films, we finna burn, because we already have our screens coated and set up somewhere in a dark space, and all we gotta do is pull them out, pop them up, put them on, where's my little cheap light at, a little burn unit, or put it on a big professional burn unit. But either way, wash it out and you ready to go to press. So you just gotta, you know, kind of think about things and kind of be smart when you are in here and you're bossing up. So in-house printing versus outsourcing transfers. I'm gonna say in-house printing is gonna win all the time because you're going to be able to maximize profits. You're in control of the process. For some businesses, it's going to work great. For some businesses, outsourcing transfers is going to work great. As a screen printer, would I outsource transfers? Yeah, I would. I would outsource some transfers, and you know, y'all know I do from time to time. Not often, because of the limitations. My customers are this video is going to be this one is going to be stay public. Urgent Legend, this one is going to stay public, so y'all can go back and look at it and hit the key points in it. Y'all know I'm long-winded. It's been an hour. Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about today? I have to get ready to get off of here in a minute. Carmen, I saw that you were trying to get in contact with me, but yeah, so my plan today is to go out to the Women's Expo, at least show my face, at least go out there, show my face, y'all, get some footage if I can, meet a couple of people, do a little bit of networking, and then get back in. So last night I had an order that came through that I got to work out some details with the company. That's really, really good. God has been blessing me. If you believe in high power, I'm telling y'all, 2023 is going to be my year. So I'm steady pivoting and growing in business and figuring out, you know, like I'm always figuring out what's my next move gonna be. And you know, hey, if you're in business, don't get tunnel vision, right? Don't get tunnel vision. For me, I have not gotten the inks out there, y'all. I've been trying. I've been trying. They back there. They on the up on the, y'all can't see them. I've been trying, but I've had so much stuff going on that I haven't been able to get it done. So I still have not ordered the UPN codes uh, for that stuff. So I got to get that done. But I'm on vacation and I've taken 2 orders on vacation. So I told y'all I'm trying to do, this was supposed to be the downtime for me, which is great. And sometimes, you know, you take 2 steps backwards to go 2 steps forwards or 10 steps forwards. So that's pretty much what's happening, is that I'm kind of opening up this schedule, right? And by me opening up my schedule, I actually, what I'm doing is, and this is for the members, and I got to put a video up because next week we are going to work on our email signature. That signature down at the bottom of your email. Do it. Show you guys how to do that signature and how to make that signature grow, help you market your business. I've been doing some research, and the open click rates on email signatures are at about 80%. At about 80% on using that open click rate. And what I mean is, so let's say you have you have your signature at the bottom of your email, and then you may have a link to, you know, of course you're going to have your link to your website and email and all of that, but you may have a link to a product or a link to a class or a link to an event or whatever the situation is, a link to inks, whatever it is, right? Those links in emails have been proven to be very lucrative. And this is what I mean when I tell y'all, the boss always studying. I'm always studying. I'm always finding different ways that I can maximize, you know, my business. And so 2023 is coming in. I'm gonna hook up a new email signature for my emails. That's one thing that I'm gonna do. And then automated responses, automated email responses, right? So, and not automated email responses, but auto responders. I'm going to show you guys a auto responder. So those are going to be the 2 videos that are going to be coming up. So look on the latana.com page for the link to be up next week to the next Google Meet, covering the email signature and then the auto responder. This auto responder is going to set your business up for 2023. And what I mean is, y'all know that when people email you, you have that auto responder on there that you can say, hey, I'm on vacation. But no, we want an autoresponder based on the type of email. So let's say if somebody emails me at my normal business hours is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and somebody emails me at 8 a.m., right? I don't want them to wait until 10 a.m. to talk to me. I want to have a autoresponder set up so that they're like, okay, in this autoresponder is, hey, so and so, thanks for reaching out. We don't open up till 10 p.m. to 10 a.m., but check out these links for blah blah blah, right? Depending on what they're asking for. So if they're asking for a quote, it could be go straight, give them a link to go straight to a quote, to where it's just automating everything. So they may not even need to really talk to you. They may just, you're just going to automate everything. So that autoresponder, make sure y'all stay tuned for that, because it's going to be a members only video. Don't miss it, because it's gonna be big. And if y'all hang with me 2023 going in, we're gonna make a whole lot of money. I'm telling y'all. I was always told, and I learned this as a young girl, right? Money be got money. If you want to make money, hang around those who's making money and those that's trying to get that money, and you will get it too. All right, y'all, be blessed. I'm gonna get up off of here and work on this quote for this one guy, and hopefully I can go ahead and get this done, because if I'm going to be able to get this order done for him, honey, I need him to go ahead and make that payment before Monday, so that I make sure that nobody slips up under me while I'm over here on YouTube land. All right, y'all, see y'all later. Bye bye. And I know I didn't speak to y'all all, but I see y'all on there, and I'll go back through here and check out everything. Talk to y'all later.